I could find evidence for both, honestly. Like, and again, this is assuming you have a drop in stocks. If you don't have a drop in stocks, then the Ethereum low is highly likely in already. If there's no drop in stocks. So if there's no drop in stocks in starting in the next month or two, then the odds of the low being in for Ethereum are, probably like 70%. All right. If you get a 10% drop in stocks, a 25% drop in Ethereum, which we have seen on 10% drops, would actually print a higher low. It would be printing the same type of thing that it did in 2022, right? Where you get a drop in stocks and then we print a higher low. If the stock market gets a 20% drop and Ethereum drops by 50%, that's where, you could end up putting in a slightly lower low, but I wouldn't expect it to be that drastically below it. It would be my guess. Now, I could find examples for why it would be 10% or why it would be 20, or even why it wouldn't happen. The main sort of reconciliation on a 10%, one of the arguments for just simply a 10% drop is if you look at U.S. interest rates and you sort of go back to the 90s, which there's some parallels between this rate cycle and the 90s, because in the 90s they lifted rates up, kind of like they did over here, and then they dropped rates. And then after they dropped rates, they then raised rates by 25 basis points in March of 1997.